Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Nerd Den here once again, and today I've got another theory video revolving Doctor Who, because Captain Jack is heavily rumoured to be coming back in the festive special, Resolution of the Daleks. No, got the title wrong. Revolution of the Daleks. Sorry, there's so many Dalek titles that sound so similar these days. But anyway, yeah, so we've already covered the rumours of civil war and the possibility of Davros coming back. But if Captain Jack comes back, there's a little thing that I want to talk about. We do know that Captain Jack will eventually become the face of Boe. I know certain writers have argued against it or refused to answer, but at the moment it's kind of canon that Captain Jack will eventually be old enough to become the face of Boe. What will happen to his body and the rest of it? No one really knows, but I have a little theory. So, there is a moment in Fugitive of the Judoon from last series where Captain Jack is attacked by nanogenes as they literally attack his body. Now, we do know these nanogenes are going to tear his body apart, and we know that Captain Jack is immortal, and he can supposedly grow his body back, similar to Deadpool, and Captain Jack did kind of grow himself back together in Torchwood Children of Earth when the Torchwood hub got blown up when Captain Jack had a bomb inside his stomach. But what happens if these nanogenes are kind of a little bit on the upper tier sci-fi and the body parts they're eaten don't grow back? So imagine that we get a headless Captain Jack in the Christmas special. That would be a little bit interesting. Now again, this sounds like a really far-fetched theory, but imagine that. We get the long-rumoured return of Captain Jack where he meets the 13th Doctor, but he's just ahead. It would be a little bit dumb. But there could be more to this theory, okay? We do know, again, that he does become the face of Boe eventually, so perhaps the festive special, if John Barrowman is a part of it, it leads into this face of Boe theory, because even the Big Finish audios have started referencing the face of Boe in the Lives of Captain Jack, so anything is open to possibility at the moment. It would be interesting to see, but what you need to remember is even if we see Captain Jack become the face of Boe, there's always one thing to keep in mind, that we could be introduced to a Captain Jack later in his timeline. So, for example, John Barrowman at the moment has grey hair. And, yeah, he looks fantastic with it. He could be brought back to the show in the festive special. He has his grey hair. He's obviously older. And then something happens that isn't necessarily tied to the nanogenes. So, yeah, he loses the rest of his body. And then, yeah, he slowly ages, and then his mind must expand because that's all he's got, and his body's just growing outwards, perhaps. I don't know. But it's very interesting to see what would happen, like how the writers would explain all the physical changes. There must be some form of evolution for Captain Jack if he's living for so long. It's just ahead. But we'll find out sooner than later, I guess. But anyway, this is just a little random theory that we could see an older Captain Jack get his body taken away from him, and then he just becomes a head. But yeah, what I was going to say as well, before I wrap up this video, one thing to keep in mind is that, yeah, we could get introduced to an older Captain Jack, and he becomes the face of Boe, but we could always see a younger one later down the line, similar to like River Song. So there's always the door open for Captain Jack to return, just as, the normal Captain Jack. But we'll see what happens. But yeah, thank you very much for watching this random theory video. It literally just came to mind the other week where I was like, okay, yeah, I forgot about Captain Jack being the face of Boe. And I thought, oh, that would be really cool to talk about. But I guess it's just one of those, really. It's a very weird theory. And even I struggle sometimes to think as like John Barrowman being the face of Boe. But Chibnall might end up doing it. I mean, he's added more Doctors to the canon, and he's changed Gallifrey's origin, so perhaps he could follow through with this Face of Both thing. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, I'll see you all next time. Thank you very much for watching. Bye for now.